Okay, hi everyone. If you can hear me, just drop in the chat or the comment section. Yes, yes, yes. So I'm sure that everybody is on the same page with me. So if you can hear me over there, just drop yes, yes, yes. Let me be sure you can all hear me. Hello. Hello guys, can you hear me? Okay, good. Okay, thanks guys. Welcome once again to this particular edition of AI Horizon. And this particular edition is when AI joins the DevOps party. The interesting thing about it is when I started or when I was looking for like a sub theme for this, I was like, should I say AI and DevOps? Should I say, okay, AI making DevOps space scary? I was thinking of names, right? Then I had to go back to AI as well, calling, let's say, ChatGPT. So I had to look for, okay, what should I call this particular stuff? So interesting things came up. These are kind of mystical, other stuff that were kind of hilarious. Some are kind of too business intense. So I was like, oh no, I don't want this particular show to be business intense or too strict or too rigid. I want it to be like you're just having a coffee chat or just sipping your water and learning a lot. So if you are here, please have a cup of water because water is good for your body. Yes. So, and stay tuned. Get your notes. I have mine close to me. I'm ready to learn as well from the person I'll be bringing up here. I'm ready to learn. Be ready to ask your question. If you feel like there are some things that are kind of not clear, you can drop it in the chat or the comment section. I'm saying chat because I'm used to Zoom. So this is like really new to me, but I don't mind trying new things. So please drop it in the comment section. Drop it. Don't feel shy, unfiltered. If you feel like the host, you are too fast, you are too slow, I don't think I understand what the special guest is saying, can he buttress on that point? So just drop it there. And if you feel like you also want to ask other question, please let it be within sensible context. Let's not go way beyond. We are here to learn something reasonable, right? So please, and I know that people that join this call as well, they're also here for that same purpose. So that's a biggie for me. So if you are here, get your notes, get your cup of water, meaning you don't need to start standing up going to get something, so you won't lose any information. And the interesting thing about this thing is going to be recorded, so I would also reshare it either on YouTube channel or also on Instagram. So if you miss anything, feel free to watch again the replay, but it will be good if you ask your question live. There's something interesting about live events. So without further ado, let me add the special guest. And this special guest is someone that I've worked with on an interesting project rather, and I could actually see that he's not just someone that talks. He's someone that also walked the talk, someone that said, okay, yes, I do this, and I'm also going to get my hands dirty. I'm going to roll up my sleeves. I'm going to get things to get in the, I'm not going to say trenches because we are not in the trenches, but I'm going to get in that to get the work done. So without further ado, once again, let me add Stephen Olatunji to this call. Hi, Stephen, are you there? I'm adding you ASAP. Hi, Stephen, if you can hear me, or if you've seen the invite, please join. I think there's a glitch from Steven. His network is messing up. I just give him some minutes to get that sorted out. I welcome CG1. The Tofumi, welcome as well. Idoko Ichaba, welcome. Taiwo, Kepound, Steve. Okay, that's our special guest. Welcome. Okay. Oh, okay, Steven is not. Let me try to reach out to him. I think he's trying. He can. Time God, everything possible. Hi, Steven. I've added you, but for some reason I can't see you up here. Steven, are you joined on your phone or your laptop? Did you join the event on your phone or your laptop? Okay, either way, while we wait for Steven, let me just mention or let me say something interesting. Lately, I met with some guys. I met with them on Thursday and we are talking about innovation. The thing about it was that we got to talk about it in the context of, is Nigeria giving us room to innovate? Is the youth, are they innovative? Or business owners, are they also a driving force in that space of innovation? So it was more like a battleground between three people. It was an amazing experience for me, an eye opener, right? And the interesting thing about it is I never saw innovation from that context before, because I used to feel like innovation should be when you do something big, like maybe build a robot that'll be flying in the sky, you know. But I never saw that innovation could actually be as simple as just making life easy for someone else without re-engineering what a solution should be like, or it should be. But I was like, okay, innovation as a techie girl now. I was just about, let us do innovation, let us build stuff. And that has also always been my narrative or my line of thought. But after that event, something shifted in me that, okay, innovation shouldn't just be in the space of tech. You can also have innovation in legal. You can have innovation for market space place, sorry. You can have innovation for finance. You can have innovative ideas, or innovation can also drive all those strong pillars in our lives. So at the end of the day, I discovered that my narrative all along has been so rigid and not ready to be flexible. And my take home from that meeting, the meeting was for 120 minutes, if I'm correct. Yes, 120 minutes. I got there late, which I had to apologize to the host. I'm trying to be very, very, very sincere here. I got there late, but at the end of the day, I took something. I took something along with me. It doesn't matter how old or how young you are, you should still be humble about what you have or what you know. One. Two, you should be open about what you know. You shouldn't be rigid that if it's like this, it should always be like this. And this also permeates to our lives. No, I can't hear you, Stephen. Hi, Stephen. Hi, Oladeji Omogbemi. Welcome. I can't hear you. Did you join on your phone? Stephen, if you can hear that, just drop in the comment section. So I couldn't wrap my head around it that okay, innovation or what I already know as someone that I've grown my career or I've developed so much in tech that is not what it should be or what I was hearing, right? But something sank in me or I came to the realization that you just need to be flexible about what your line of thought should be or what it is that you should be open to other people's idea. And this also permits to other people's life or your life. It might not even be about innovation. It could be about maybe career choices. You shouldn't just be like, okay, because I'm in tech, I'm the hot cake, I can do as I like, I'm the latest in town, other fields are below my feet, all those things. You should also be open about stuff. And the third thing I also learned on that stuff, in that meetup is don't be scared of making mistake because something happened during that meetup and it's just made that sink into me. Yes, on my phone. Okay, let me add you again. Oh, okay. Can you? Okay, you're here. So I was just gisting people about what I experienced during the week. So okay. So let me just
Yeah, I
quickly
could
wrap.
hear you all along.
Oh, okay. So let me just wrap up with the 5 point I
Yeah.
was sharing. So the third thing was I shouldn't be scared of failure. That's also buttressed my point or my the reason why I started this event or this live Instagram. It has been on my mind for many years right now that okay, tell me what you know. You should be able to share with the world. But I'm always scared that okay, God, I don't know how to do this Instagram. This Instagram thing is like I'm still learning it. In fact, last week I still took like a 10 minutes video. I watched 10 minutes video on YouTube to understand how I can navigate around all this Instagram stuff. I'm not an expert, even though yes, I build tech solutions. I'm not still good, but I have learned something that if you don't fail, you won't grow, and if you don't grow, you start dying. So you shouldn't be scared of failure. Then the fourth thing is you should also be ready to take risk. Risk is kind of similar with failure, but risks in the sense that okay, if I'm doing this thing, what am I going to forgo? And you shouldn't be scared of when you are taking the risks, you will lose something. You can't eat your cake and have it. It's either you get something and you get the ball rolling, or you're not doing it at all. So as you're plunging into that new idea, maybe after this talk, some things might just pop up in your mind and say, I'm starting this thing next week. Anything, you shouldn't be scared of taking a risk. Then the fifth one is relationship. I got into that room of amazing founders. And those guys, I'm not talking about four figures in US dollars. I'm talking about six figures, seven figures. I was opportune. I'm grateful to God for that. But still, it's relationship that got me in the room. So don't underestimate the impact of relationship on your career journey or even your life. Because there are some things that you will have struggled to get. But if you have good relationship around you, they can actually help you fast track your process or your journey. You just discover that where you should be working, you are flying. Why? Because you are already riding on people's emotional bank account. They are giving you, so don't expect from my emotional bank account if you did not deposit inside because I will be deficit. So please build relationship in 2024. So with this 5 point of mine, I believe you've learned I've convinced you and not confused you of what I've learned in the last 7 days. Thank you very much. Okay, now welcome back to let's come back to AI join when AI joins the DevOps party. So I have here with me Stephen Olatunde. As I've said, I've worked with him countless times, and sometime in the beginning of our work experience, we had frictions. But along the line, I discovered that he's just a cool guy that is just ready to do his job. You know how it is, tech guys, we just want to show ourselves. And if I tell girl, you have this kind of imposter syndrome that you just feel like, I don't want this guy to kick me out of. So I have this guy, and he's an amazing dude. I've learned so much from him. Anytime he's talking, I get my iPad, I get my notebook, I get my Bible, because when you stop learning, you start dying. I'm always ready to absorb like a sponge. So if you're also here on this call to learn, I'm not calling people to come and look at my fine face. Because if you want to look at my fine face, check my status or my Instagram reels. But if you want to learn and to level up in the year 2024 and to ask unfiltered questions within the sphere of reasoning, welcome to this channel. And this channel is all about AI Horizon, but every month, which we're thinking of maybe once a month or twice a month, we'll be bringing in experts in the space of tech, finance, legal, entertainment, marketing, to come talk about how AI will affect their jobs. So thank you. Without further ado, I invite you guys to see Stephen. Hi, Stephen.
Hello, Timmy. Good evening.
Hi,
Can you
Stephen.
hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes, loud
All
and
right.
clear.
Hello. Hello. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for
So,
having me.
yes, introduce yourself, please.
Stephen Olatunji is my name. I'm a tech professional, right? I have experience in front end, back end, and the DevOps space. I actually started my career as a front end engineer. I was doing that for a time, and then I delved into back-end engineering and started building server-side applications. At the time, I also delved into mobile development, building mobile applications and the likes. So along the line too, I came to embrace cloud, right? So I started looking at how you deploy your solutions into the cloud, the intricacies involved, and all the like. So currently, I work as a DevOps engineer.
Oh, wow. Amazing. See your resume. Your resume is full of doings, so. Hey, hey. Hey, can
Well,
we pay you like this? Hey, it's
we
well.
just try my hands on different stuff, right? Yeah. So
Oh,
that's it.
wow, wow, wow. Do you know that there are some people's resume, right? You will see it and you just be like, are you sure I can actually pay this person? Because there was a time I was telling you, because there was a time I was gisting with a guy and I exchanged my resume, or I shared my resume with him. I exchanged it. That's the truth.
Yeah.
I exchanged it so that we can just learn one or two things from his resume and see how he actually organizes his resume and stuff like that. And after sharing the resume, and he was like, tell me, this your resume is full of doing. So I was like, this
Yeah.
small resume, you
That,
know.
that's true. You know, you are big shots in the system. So I couldn't agree more. I think the guy is right.
See, what are you saying?
No,
Please, so
don't try to be humble. You know,
we
you've done a lot of stuff, especially in the AI space, in robotics and the like. So, I think I agree with the guy.
see, we are looking at you.
don't
We will take this
no, don't
offline.
try
This
to be
the battle line has been drawn. We take it offline. Let's just stay within the context of this
humble.
stuff. Okay, that's really good. But seriously, he's really sincere. And what he has said is what he does. That's the interesting thing about Steven that I've known. He's not someone that will tell you that I am into front end on the paper, but no front end when they get their hands dirty to do stuff. So he has been an amazing person. I've learned from him, even though he doesn't know. I've been learning and I've been writing down. So thank you, Steven, for honoring my invite to come on this particular edition. I really appreciate you. Thanks so
It's
much.
okay. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, Stephen, that will also take me to, because most times when people see me, they kind of say, "Ah, Stephen, how did you get here? What was the passion? How did you get your passion?" Because people kind of feel like purpose should be something that God will send an angel to talk to you about. And when you even start that passion or that purpose, you shouldn't have obstacles. You should just be going like that, no traffic. If it's like a journey from mainland to island, there won't be traffic on third mainland. It should just be going fair. So I don't know if you can share your journey with us, as in the obstacles you faced, how you overcame them. Did you have mentors along the way? Did you have friends? All those interesting things. We would like to know, because I believe on this particular edition or this life, we have people that are just starting their journey, but they don't know how to go about it. But they're like, I like this guy resume now. Meet and won't be there now. But they don't know how to go about it. How do you navigate your career path or your career trajectory?
Okay, thank you very much for the question. So basically, when I delved into the tech space, I actually didn't have people around me that were practicing, right? So
Mm.
it was just born out of sheer I want to have these tech skills. I want to be able to build stuff, right? So it wasn't the money at that time, because I didn't have people in my space that were working already, that were earning. So I didn't know what the salary structure was as at that point in time. So it was just out of curiosity, out of the fact that I want to make a difference. I want to build something. So started learning personal stuff, right? Go online, learn from this YouTuber, learn from the other person, right? So that was how I started. And I was getting into it, but this tech space, especially when you are aspiring to be a programmer, you have a lot of
Mm-hmm.
things to learn. It's a big aspect, it's a big area, right? So you have tons of things to learn. And if you have a lot of things like that, you might get lost in the system because you don't even know what's next. So what I did was to enroll in a tech academy, right? And it's actually helped me because they had like a structured curriculum that one could follow. So in that tech academy, not like you are being taught like ABC or something like that. Um, you still have to learn how to do things on your own. But because there is this structured curriculum, you know what's next to learn after you've learned one. So I got into that, and I started building stuff. As I was learning, I was building. And because I had strong passion for it, and as at that point in time, I was also dealing with insomnia. I don't really sleep at night. So anytime I wake up, or maybe I don't get to sleep, I just turn that to a session to start learning how to code, how to build this, how to build that. So within a short period of time, I was ready. I think I would say personally then that I was where I knew that I was okay, right? I had a number of personal projects that I built. And so I think that's how I just came back, and I interviewed for my first job in tech, and I actually got the job. And so that was it. And soon after that, I began upping my skills in tech, learning this. I've learned a whole lot of things. I've learned different programming languages as well. But basically, sometimes when you don't get to build projects with a certain language, you tend to get rusty. And we are in a fast-paced environment. Things change every now and then. So if you are not up to date, you might tend to forget, right? So I've learned a couple of programming languages, but I will not say I'm an expert in them because I basically don't have like use for them, so to say. So basically that's my journey. And another thing I would like to say is that when you are very good at a particular programming language, you understand the basics and the concepts, it is easier for you to pick up another programming language or another aspect of tech and also thrive in that. So I remember I got a particular personal project from a client, and I that was when I delved into mobile development actually. So then I said, okay, I want to build this technology. I don't want to use JavaScript using React Native to build this mobile application. I want something different. So I decided to pick up Flutter. And Flutter is built on that
Mm-hmm.
programming language. So I picked it up and I just learned it within 2 weeks. Um, I started building the project and it was a good one. Yeah. So basically, that has been it. There are still challenges here and there because
Mm-hmm.
you want to stay abreast of the latest technology and the like. And you have other aspects of your life. You have other things you aspire to do, and we have just 24 hours in a day. So try to schedule your time to learn this and to do other things in your life. It's quite challenging, but we are here. So basically,
Oh,
that's it.
wow, 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 wow. And you said something very interesting, right? It's just an amazing journey how you started out and developing the skill on the trip or on your way to success, or your as you build your career, you developing picking up your skills. You are not controlled by imposter syndrome, because sometimes when tech people start, they'll say, I'm not good enough. I remembered when I applied for my first AI job. I was like, I don't think I'm good enough. I'm not building that big model that people want in Facebook. I didn't know that. Let me start from my Jerusalem before I start moving to other places. So you really touched on a lot of things that we young people need to know. And another thing you mentioned is uh learning on aside learning on the job, you enrolled for a particular course, like a structured learning, because most of us, we just want to dissipate our energy. Okay, if we hear React is raining now, we run to React. If we learn Next.js is raining, we move to Next.js. If we learn, okay, AI is the raining thing, everybody will just be moving to AI, forgetting that AI is also like a bottomless pit.
Yeah.
It never ends. In that
So
area, you have deep learning, you have machine learning, you have reinforcement, you have go to go. In deep learning, you have computer vision. Oh God.
yeah,
So
so
I
my
just
advice is that get good in a particular aspect, right? Know your
wow.
know it properly. Then you can play around with different stuff.
Mm,
Like today, I can afford to play around with whatever I want to play around. I usually say if I need to build a certain project with a programming language that I don't know about today, I just need like maybe a week or two to learn and start building.
mm,
So just learn one that you are very good at, then you can decide to delve into whatever you want to play with, whatever you want to lay your hands on. Just go ahead and do it.
wow. Thank you. That still reiterates what I'm
Yes,
thinking in my mind right now, that you should learn the basics. The basics are the most important thing. You shouldn't start building your castle in the air that, okay, I want to be a super engineer. Start from the basics, then you can navigate to other places. Wow, thank you very much, Steven. I have some questions here that I've been wanting to ask you, you know,
okay, go ahead.
and those questions are like, I don't know. Okay, let me pick one of it.
Okay.
The first one is, with all this AI scare of AI taking jobs, AI snatching everything, AI we automate, AI we turn everything to AI, all those things. Do you think there's a job scare in the space of DevOps or cloud? What do you think?
Okay, so AI has come to stay, right? And all these tools come to stay and they will get better as time goes on. Um, Another thing I would like to mention first is that they've made our job easier to do, right? Especially with the advent of ChatGPT, right? You can do so many things. Back then, before the advent of this AI tools, right? You have to like do an extensive research before you get the answers that you want. For software engineers, the go-to space you go to is the Stack Overflow, where you try to look for answers to the different questions you have. But then you have to do a lot of search. But with the advent of GPT, right, you can just put in whatever you want and it gives you the answer, right? And it's direct. You don't have to search too much. The only thing you need to do is to refine your queries and stuff, and it's going to give you the response that you need. I've actually used this a couple of times actually, right? And these tools are great. But at the end of the day, ChatGPT didn't create itself, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Someone is behind it, and there's a team behind it, and they keep refining it. So what I would just say is, you don't have to be scared of your job being taken away from you. So far, you are an authority in your space. You know what you are doing. And another thing is, make sure you are evolving with the system. If you stay at one place, at one position, then you are at risk. That's when you should be scared that your job will be taken away from you. Like earlier, I mentioned that I started with front-end engineering. At the time, I moved to building back-end, building server-side applications, right?
Mm-hmm.
And also, I moved on to the cloud, deploying stuff using the DevOps practices and the like. So you keep moving. Don't stay in one place. Don't stay in one position. Just keep moving. And I can assure you, you still have your job. So basically, that's my answer to that question. I don't know if I gave the answer that you want or not.
Yeah, I think the basic or the bottom line is just for everybody to know that there's going to be evolution in their job. So if you stop, as I've said in the beginning, if you stop learning, then you start dying and you will get kicked out of your job. So keep evolving. So I think I really agree with that as well, which is really true. So you have to evolve. Okay, someone dropped a question. So I want us to touch on that before we forget. He said, what programming language does one need to be proficient in to become a very good DevOps engineer?
Okay, so basically, I would say programming language per se, because DevOps is actually like you are bringing development and operations together. In those days, we used to have these two professions like separately. Operations are those that deal with the platform, like they create your infrastructure, they make sure the code that you built is deployed, right? And development, we know you write the code and everything that runs on it. So DevOps is a way to bring the both of them together. Normally, you would want to say that a developer building the code can also serve as a DevOps engineer, right? Because you know what you are writing. So each developer is supposed to have this DevOps skill, right? Because you can't just create a system and you don't know how to make it work for the larger audience, right? But in some cases, we now have, especially these days, we now have that role carved out. So you don't need to have too much programming skills, programming language skill to be able to do your job as a DevOps engineer. But make sure that you are familiar with Linux, right? All the commands on Linux that you can get your hands on, scripting language particularly, right? So maybe your bash or something like that, you know, all the language that you can use to prepare maybe the environment you want to deploy to and all of that. Then you should also be sound in writing YAML, right? The YML files, right? It's not a programming language per se. It's something that anyone could write. Just know that, just know whatever you want to put in there. So you don't really need a core programming language to become a DevOps engineer. I don't know if I answered your question. Because what a DevOps engineer does is the developer has written the code already. What you just need to do is take that code, prepare the server environment or whichever environment you want to deploy the applications, prepare the infrastructure, and then push in the application that this person has built, push it to the infrastructure. So that's all that is needed. You don't need to be a core programmer to be a DevOps engineer.
Wow. Okay. Thanks so much for that. So, by your limbs, he has answered your question. He said you don't need to be a core programmer, but a developer can also double as a DevOps
Yeah.
engineer because you should know the
Let
nitty-gritty of the code you've written.
me
Sorry.
let me also add that you only have
Okay.
an
Please.
advantage if you are a programmer, right? You have an advantage over a DevOps engineer that does not know programming at all. Because if you are a programmer and you run into a problem, or maybe the developer didn't do his job properly, you are able to just go in there and resolve the issue, fix the bug, and just move on. It's better than waiting on the developer to fix the problem before you deploy. You can go in the code, fix the issue, and then deploy it. Everyone is happy.
I like that last statement. Everybody's happy. That's one thing I always want to hear that because recently I dived into that space of product management. I just want to be happy. So if I get a tech person that can do the job and make me happy, I mean I'm down for that. So thanks so much for that.
Exactly. Exactly. Just to make the work of everyone easier to do. That's
Yeah,
just it.
yeah. Thanks so much, Stephen, for that. I believe, Bayo, you already have your question answered. And if you have more questions, you can. I will drop Stephen's Instagram handle at the end of this call, so you can reach out to him, DM him to learn one or two things. Maybe some questions that we might forget to ask, or some personal questions that you don't want any of us to know about, which is good. You can go ahead to ask. So I will drop that later. Okay. Another question of mine is I was going through a research paper and I read something about the benefit of deploying AI on cloud. So I saw something on speed, accuracy, reliability of the software development lifecycle. I don't know if you have something to share regarding that. That maybe AI solution, why we should deploy it on cloud, and what are your experiences? Then to crown that question up is what is the importance of cloud for any business whatsoever, either finance, legal, SMEs, and all those things. And other
Okay.
businesses. Have you much?
Okay. Thank you
Yeah,
for
go on.
your question. So, in those days, right, before we now have the proliferation of the cloud providers, if you build an application, you have to have your own server, you have to have your own database, right? Maybe just have some systems, maybe some supercomputers where you have all of these things deployed on. But with the advent of or proliferation of these cloud service providers, they have their servers, like large servers, right? Where and they also have database, big databases, right? That they can share. It's just like you paying rent to use part of the service that they already have. Instead of building your own house, you have someone that will take care of the house, has already built the house. You can just pay maybe to put in your stuff or to live in that particular environment. So basically, that's what the cloud providers, that's what they do. And the fact that they are backed by large corporations, they have the expertise, technical expertise, they have the money to maintain and manage all this stuff. and their securities are top notch. We have service providers like Microsoft with their Azure, right? We have Amazon with the AWS, right? We have Google with their Google Cloud Platform, GCP. We have a number of them providing these services, and it is good because with um, just small money, you can deploy your solution, right? Just know what you want and let an expert advise you on how to go about it to minimize the amount of money you pay and get the value for your money. So basically, that's why it is better to go to deploy your applications on the cloud. All of the dirty work will be done by this large corporation. You just give them money, pay them, and you don't have any problem. Just for example, if you want to use Kubernetes to orchestrate your containers, there's something, I don't know, like maybe I should just break it down. Maybe it's not too big for the audience, right? So lately, the way to build or deploy your application is through containerization. Containerization is just, let me use this analogy we use in basic DevOps, right? So say for example, you want to import goods.
Okay.
You're importing cars, you are importing bags, you are importing jewelries and different stuff, right? Now, if you want to load this stuff on the ship that is bringing the goods, if you have them, because they have, at the end of the day, they have different shape when you package them. The structure of the car is different from the structure of bags when you package them. So they become uneven to load on the ship. But it is better if you put them in containers, right? If you put the car in containers, right, you put the bags and different loads, you put them in a container. They have that structure, everything is in there, and it can be easily loaded. So the same way we have containerization in deploying your application. Containerization helps you to be consistent in your application. In time past, we have this issue of, oh, this application works from my own end, but maybe on the other person's end is not working, right? But when you containerize your application, you put the application in the same environment. Say, for example, you are writing your code and the application is running on your laptop. Your laptop, say, for example, your laptop is a MacBook, right? The MacBook has all the environment. Then you want to build your application, say a JavaScript application, and you are using, say, Node 16 on your machine. Now, if you build that application and you push it somewhere else so that other people can have access to it, maybe on your own computer, you are using a Windows laptop, right? And the Node version you are using on your computer is maybe 12, and I'm using 16. And maybe some of the packages that I have in my application only runs on Node 16. If you run this same application on your machine, it's not going to give you the same experience as when I run it on my own system. So that is why we containerize our application. You specify the environment that you want the application to run on. Specify that environment. So wherever you are running that application is going to run the same way. So that is why the go-to way of deploying your application in modern days is through containerization. But, so because we have containerization, we can have, and with the advent of microservices, there's something called microservice, right? We don't want to do monolithic anymore, because monolithic applications are one that you have just maybe one service that runs all the application. Say, for example,
I can't hear you.
sorry, I got a call on my phone.
Okay,
Sorry.
it's better. Yeah, no problem.
So yeah, so sorry, what was I saying?
No, you
uh,
you the last statement you mentioned is like now we no longer use monolithic approach. Now we go for microservices, kind of breaking all those services into smaller parts.
Thank you for the reminder.
You're welcome.
So why we do microservices is that when your service is down, we don't want the whole applications to be down.
Mm-hmm.
Say, for example, you have an application that, for every application, say, for example, you have to authenticate. Let's use an e-commerce as an example. You sign in into the e-commerce application, right? When you sign in, you see different products, bags, shoes, and all the likes. And also, you can also see your own personal account, maybe your cards, your previous orders, and the likes. So if you build that application on just one service, that's monolithic approach. If the server is down, you won't be able to log in into the system at all. You won't be able to log in. But if you use a microservice to split this into different services, then if, for example, the microservice that handles your maybe checkout, that handles payment and all that is having issues, is down, you'll be able to sign in definitely, and you'll be able to shop, you'll be able to see stuff. At that point, you might not be able to check out, but then you are still interacting with the e-commerce, which is better in a way, and the technical team involved can quickly resolve the issue on that particular service that is handling that. So most of the major corporations today are using the microservice approach. That is why sometimes maybe you are going through your social medias, you can see few like different feeds on your timeline. Maybe just one or two things in the application is what is not working, and they will fix it. So with the advent of microservices, we have a number of containers to handle, and when you have several containers, managing them will be difficult to do, and that is why we have Kubernetes, right? Is a way of orchestrating your containers, managing your containers. And one good thing about it is that it can auto scale, it can auto heal. Auto scaling means that when you have much traffic on the system, maybe a lot of people are making use of the application at that particular time, it can scale higher to accommodate the number of requests on the system. And when you don't need too much load, it can scale down. And it can also heal in the sense that maybe there is something wrong. The application will try to heal itself because you already have the blueprints for it to create those particular resources, the pods, we call them pods. It will recreate them from the blueprint you already defined. So you don't even have to do anything at that point in time. It will heal itself and continue working. So in this day and age, that is how we deploy the solution. I'm not an AI engineer, but I've worked hand in hand with AI engineers in the past and in the present. Temitope, for example, I've worked with her on a couple of projects, right? And I've worked at the back end with AI engineers, right? Consuming the APIs we generate from these models. And I've also worked, and I'm also still working as a DevOps engineer, serving most of these AI engineers to deploy their solutions on the cloud. So I don't know if I answered your question.
Yes, you when you say you over answer self. If there's a word
Ah,
like that. Because
I'm
at
talking too
some point
much.
at some point I was imagining the faces of the people listening to this call that are they sure they understand what Boss Steven is dishing out? Because he was
Sorry,
mentioning
sorry,
something and I
no.
was writing.
Okay.
And
But
right, yes,
normally,
he really
normally
went.
I don't talk much like this, but it's my space, so let me talk, right?
I understand. It's okay for you to flex your muscle, you know. You know when you come to AI too, I will give you back to back. But
Okay.
it's so good to hear that feedback from you because it's something that every SME should look out for. Because when you have your tech team, most SME when they reach out to me, they'll say, Timmy, something happened to my website. I couldn't sell for like 2 or 3 hours, something happened. So please let us plunge into this high advice. Like we should have like microservices for every of our activities. Meaning it should maybe for order, for there should be microservices controlling it. Okay, I don't know how to explain it now. Something controlling it. Please talk to the devs. So maybe microservices collecting the money for the payment checkout and all those, the payment gateway and all those stuff, or my microservices controlling all those things. So please let's look out for that. So we shouldn't just be stereotype or this call is for us to receive the sense of how to communicate with our DevOps engineers or engineering team. So we won't be novice, you know. You will be communicating and say, this person is sabi your work. So that's what this call is all about. So I believe we've learned one or two things. I'm going to bring this call to a close. If I should give us opportunity, me and Stevie will just, or if you give us opportunity, we can talk for 5 hours, 3 hours, 7 hours, 10 hours about stuff. But this 1 hour is not doing justice to what we want to bring. But maybe we'll have another edition, maybe a second edition to this particular DevOps party, or we'll have like even more than two editions or three editions because you mentioned some things about Kubernetes, pods, all those things are cloud services that we need to be aware or know about. So I'm looking forward to bringing him back. Steven, is that going to be a yes?
This time around, you have to pay me, you know.
Guys, please support me to vote. I should bring Steven back because it's going to be a nice idea because I kept writing all along. As I was talking, I kept writing, you know, learning new things every day. If you don't learn, remember if there's something you're taking from here is the day you stop learning, you start dying. So if today, if you audit your day and you did not learn anything new, you need to go and sleep and wake up again to learn something. So that is it. So thank you guys for joining this call. I have amazing people that joined this call. I have like six. At some point, I had 10 people, and I believe we've had an we will. Oh wow! See now, Steven, I have fans now. They said they'll crowd fund for you. That's it. Thank you,
Bye.
Sablu. You too. Yeah. Okay, so thanks so much for joining. I want to keep to time. I don't want to be a regular Nigerian person that works with Nigerian time. So I want to keep to time. If I say it's 30 minutes, it should be 30. If I say 1 hour, it should be 1 hour. So we'll have another edition. So stay tuned. If you are not following me on Instagram, what are you still waiting for? Eh? I'm going to share Mike Stevens. Stephen, please can you drop your Instagram handle as well so that people can also follow you? Please drop it in the comment section. So if you are not
Okay,
following me on Stephen,
okay.
what else are you following? Is it people that are dancing and shaking their bum? Please learn something. Oh. This something is happening. No, if you don't understand, career is changing. People's career is changing. Evolution is happening. Stevie mentioned something about we being we evolving with everything that is happening around us. He started as front end, now he's a DevOps guy. What are you doing at the moment? 2024 is for you to level up, to learn new skills, to be good, to be better, to have an amazing career, to make money. Because if you don't have the skill, you will not make money. And tech is the way. So even if you don't know how to communicate, as a project manager, you just need to have a skill of how to communicate with your DevOps guys. So if this is what you need, this is what you need to make this dollar. So if you are not following me, you're just wasting your time and wasting your data. Don't let me say that out so that people will not come and hijack me. You're wasting your time. So guys, I'm going to have this edition next month, but it might not be Steven then because I have an amazing person coming up maybe next month or upper month. talking about how to optimize your data, how to optimize your application, which is something that we need to know. So I'll keep us posted, switch on the notification on my page, and be ready to learn something new. Bye for now. I remain Temitope Oladokun. Welcome to AI Horizon.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye.